Hey everybody, welcome back to Hollow Knight. We left off on a crossroads between 4 locations. Now, for those that were in the poll and voted, honestly, I appreciate it. This poll was far less of a distinct, obvious choice, but I will say out of all the choices, Deep Nest was kind of a red herring. I mainly put that there in order to balance out the votes, and also, yeah, and also to just see who would want me to be miserable. So here's a fun thing. Pay to bench.
Pay to bench? Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the dirty things they do in this game. That's not a necessary checkpoint, but for this area, it's very helpful for new players. So the winner of the first place of the poll was the library level, which we're going to be seeing in about a minute. It's kind of nearby. I showed it off in the last video, it's just I never went into details what it is. Now, this area is kinda dirty in many regards.
The dirty library.
Nice lighting. Joke's on you, it's a boss fight.
Oh shit.
Well, mini-boss so much. You can never trust wizards. Yeah, you can never trust wizards. And I always have a hard time fighting these guys, mainly because of that orbital they have going around them. I always crash into that stupid thing.
Oh, I can see that can get annoying.
Yeah.
Are these an enemy type?
Indeed. That was actually the tutorial of that fight, in a way.
That's gotta be fun.
Yeah, they're all over this place. If I could remember how to wall jump. So, for whatever reason, this doesn't have a fancy introduction screen, but this is the Soul Sanctum.
And apparently Castlevania with the little organs in the background.
Yeah, we'll check that out in a hot minute, but check out this rad secret that I'm gonna warn you right now. I try to be cool and I fail.
Cool.
I'm gonna, damn it. Nope, nope.
Oh, you had it?
Come on.
Oh, this is so cool.
I give up.
I like how you kind of sunk your head like, ugh.
Over here is a secret wall that leads back to the bench.
Oh, shortcuts. Secret shortcuts?
It's not a necessary secret, but I find it saves a lot of time with the run back because you're not doing that lap all over again and the mini-boss.
I feel like that's one of those shortcuts that like the internet has to tell you about if you never found it before. So then you'll just see people go, God, I hate that run through. Oh, you didn't go to the shortcut? The what?
Yeah, kinda, actually. Now, here's an interesting thing about this area. They have jars of soul and ghosts. The weird part about this area... Yeah, it's a very positive area. One thing I like that Hollow Knight does is that every area has kind of like a set piece thing in terms of the environment. For this area, if you break open certain jars, you could get a lot of your meters super quickly.
Luckily, you can tell that the other models of that moth-flying mage thing also have less HP, thank goodness.
Yeah, when they become a common enemy, it's less of a hassle to deal with them. So over here is some story.
Somebody's writing that crap.
It's interesting that they bring up focus in this area. Mainly because it's something that only seems like our little guy could do. Because if I remember right, in all of the game's dialogue, nobody else mentions focusing. So I wonder if it's either like something only our little guy could do, or if it's just a common technique to the point where nobody talks about it.
If I had to guess without knowing the ending, I can imagine as some sort of sect ability, like a monk ability sort of thing, where they're trained to be able to do it.
By the way, here's another mid-boss. This one's actually kinda rough.
Oh, this guy's cool.
Yeah, he's got a lot of techniques, and he combines it all with the projectile to get a really good zoning game. If you come here your first time playing, this is actually a relatively hard fight to the point where I completely forgot how to fight him. Best way to do it is wait for him to do either the dead drop and then hit him, or get him while he's doing the horizontal drop. The issue is reacting in time.
Seems like your dashing ability would make some of his attacks easy to dodge, like the downward slash and things like that.
Yeah, guess what I keep forgetting I have?
Oh, well. It's funny, like, I'm not even playing this game, I'm like, well, that strat'll work, and you're like, it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah. This is one of those times where I'm just like, I haven't recorded in like 1 or 2 weeks. What the fuck are the controls?
Oh, the Let's Play curse. And every time someone who doesn't do Let's Plays watches someone and goes, why are these guys not doing as well in the mid-game or the late game? That's the explanation, basically.
Yeah, we don't record everything in a single setting, especially when I'm doing this kind of weird democratic input of where do I go next. With that, you kind of like LP on the like cuff of your neck or whatever the expression is. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Off the throat of your tongue.
But yeah, we just unlocked another shortcut so we don't have to like go around and do that rigmarole with the elevators. Instead, we have to fight these guys. Now, to be fair, you don't have to kill absolutely everything in these hallways. But whenever I play games like this, I always, you know, had this habit I have to kill everything first, then I've basically memorized the area and can, you know, dash out of the way.
See, for me, my kind of rule of thumb on that one is, does it benefit me to kill them? Then I will kill them. Because, especially in like games like this, if there was a game like this where you wouldn't get like a form of currency or items by killing people, there's no reason to kill them. You could just avoid them. But if you get money, there's no reason not to kill them if you can.
Yeah. Because, like, you do get money here, but the money is kind of like very small amounts unless you fight the mid-boss. This fight is kind of annoying just because of that teleport.
I like the music in here, it's spooky.
Yeah, the music is definitely leaning towards something more sinister in a way. I think you mentioned, what, an episode or two ago that you were expecting something darker beneath the whole veil of comfort?
I think I mentioned that like episode 1 or 2.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those facets. Because Hollowness is definitely not a place of, you know, sunshine and positivity. There was some darker situations going on in the back.
Well, I mean, when you mentioned in the very beginning that people leave to go to this place to check it out, and many don't come back, and while you're walking around a lot of these places, you just find bug corpses sitting around, yeah, it's... Can't imagine it's all sunshines and happiness here.
By the way, here's the secret.
That's a secret?
Yeah, it's a very subtle visual cue that you'd miss if you just kind of have tunnel vision and go through the level. But yeah, you see the veil there and it doesn't have the roof, you're like, oh hey, that's there, huh?
So are these ghosts?
Yeah. I forget their names, but it's some kind of... It's kind of like... I don't want to say bleppy because I know that's not the case, but that's like the first thing that comes to mind.
Inky blinky.
So we got Spell Twister from here. This reduces the cost of casting spells. I personally find this more useful than, say, more damage or better focus regen. Wow, I'm stumbling over my words today. I also thought there was like a log here or something, but nah.
That's a tough one because I can imagine each one being useful. I could see the magic casting basically, if you could just cast a bunch of them, is better, but you tend to use your sword more than anything, so I think probably sword damage might be a little bit better.
Yeah, so we've made our way to the boss, and I honestly think this is the rudest boss in the game. Well, one of. Just because of a specific thing. Behold the cat bug. I don't know.
This guy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of cool techniques, but mainly his trademark ability is a lot there. His main trick is a teleport into a ground slam, and with fake outs.
Ooh, fake outs.
Yeah.
Nice.
This guy, when you're first playing, is a huge step up in difficulty just because of that fake out. This boss demands that you use the dash properly.
You know what this guy screams to me about? It basically is a reference to a certain boss. Oh, he's already dead?
No, he's just in his I am stunned phase, go ahead and heal.
So he reminds me of Death from Castlevania.
A little bit, yeah, but not as extreme. If this was death, there'd be way more stuff floating around.
Well, that's why I thought like the lasers floating around him kind of remind me of Death's Scythe when it used to spin around him when he fought.
Yeah, like I could definitely see the allegory, but when I think of death,
I'm sorry,
Plus also
my lights were flickering and I'm a little worried.
go on.
It must have been Death that did that. But I remember specifically fighting Death in Castlevania, and his big thing was teleporting to different spots, throwing attacks at you.
Yeah. When I think of death, I think of that, but also just scythes will randomly appear and, you know, hit you in the face.
I have to say I already like this boss more than the Mantis sisters.
Yeah, the Mantis Sisters was a little bit dreary because I didn't have an attack up. This guy, though, he definitely keeps the pace going, and he's got a really weird death animation. So remember when I said that this was the rudest boss? We're not done yet.
I really like him more now.
Imagine trying to learn this boss for the first time. You finally beat that phase, and he's just like, "No, motherfucker!" And you have 1 HP. That's how I felt when I first fought
Oh
this
no,
guy.
I love that. I appreciate this guy's candor.
Luckily, phase 2 is not hard at all.
Well, plus he's named Soul Master.
Now you know he's dead because he exploded into Sunny D. I was gonna say High C, but that stuff doesn't have color.
It does.
Really? Because whenever I look at High C, it's like clear. Oh, I might be thinking of what's that shit?
Free
in the town?
Sun.
That's it. Yeah. For that, we get the Desolate Dive.
Oh, is that his slight ground pound that he had?
We have his ground pound now, and it's a really good ability.
Do we have the fake out ground pound?
Sadly, no. That would be busted and have no real practical purpose in this game.
Unless they had a PvP mode added.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. So now that we have a new ability, we gotta go through the obligatory room of teaching us what we're supposed to do with it.
I imagine there's some surfaces that are ground specific that you can smash through.
Yeah, we've actually seen a couple of those already.
I think I remember you mentioning one either in part 1 or part 2 that you passed by.
But first, paycheck.
I was getting paid for beating the Soul. What was it? Soul Leader?
Soul Master.
Soul Master!
Oh no, I don't want to sing it. I don't want to sing it.
Soul Taker!
I was actually gonna sing the Crossfire song.
Crossfire!
But yeah, Desolate Dive is mondo powerful. It only hits the ground, but it has a huge ground AoE. And I believe in this form it also has a little spike hitbox on a...
Kind of splash effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, every 90s commercial had that tone to it.
That thing is wider than I remember it being. Holy crap.
Soul Smasher! Dig Honker!
Ugh. Got some
Not
money
many
as
people
well.
had that toy.
Nah. That was something you got in special stores.
Oh boy. Ow, boy!
Alright, keep your ear out for.
Oh, hello, Caterpillar.
Yeah, we gotta get him back later.
The lacking of flinching from these zombie frogs is a little bit off-putting.
This whole area kind of messed with me a little bit, because when I was first playing, I'm like, there are so many bug corpses here. What the hell?
Oh yeah, I just noticed that's a lot of bug corpses.
This really reminds me of Latria from Demon Souls.
I almost see this as almost, you know, the concept of the catacombs underneath France?
Yeah, actually. I forgot about those.
Or, like, it's just kind of, I think they're located under a cathedral, so...
Yeah, it was a mass graveyard for, I believe it was a construction effort.
That place is crazy. Like, it's huge.
And they have bone art there, which is nuts.
They have a bone cathedral.
How are you digging in solid marble? Those things can dig.
He joins his corpse friends, it's fine.
So I was kind of pointing something out in the back there. There's a weird little statue thing where you could punch it and get souls. I thought that was a nice little detail in the background, and I didn't notice it until actually recording here.
It's Velka.
Yes, the lost Dark Souls god is here in Hollow Knight.
Well, she didn't show up in the game, so...
Yeah. I just really love this area because it's so ominous and just a heel turn on tone in the game, which is kind of necessary at this point.
I mean, with how Geiger this art is, I'm not surprised.
Like, the big thing about this is that you go through the whole game, it's like, it's all positivity and fun times. Even the City of Tears is just a positive thing. Then you come here and just like, okay, something's wrong.
Well, for one, there's just vessels containing souls everywhere. The lights and everything runs on souls. And then also, you notice bodies everywhere, so...
Yeah, and there's just one of the empty bodies of the sorcerers we fought just sitting in that chair. Like, you know something happened here and it went south quick.
It looks like, if anything, they found an energy source using souls. So, what does that make you, Mr. Soul Absorber?
A hero. Totally
Yeah,
not a
a
bad
hero.
guy.
Oh, he's leaving.
Yeah, I was trying to get to this way, but I was just like, well, wrong turn.
I need a hero. I need a hero that can eat souls for lunch. Oh.
Now, if you notice at the top of that elevator, there's a thing there, but we can't go that way until we get an item from the mine level. By the way, if you've been seeing that art, Something Awful user Blank D provided 2 very nice looking pieces of art for the transition frames, and I make good use of them. I had a lot of fun with keyframes.
Now, if somehow they could make it into a GIF where you could see the wheels spinning, you get them
Yeah.
right across the screen.
That's a lot of work, though. Being an animator is hard. I also grabbed a charm notch, which increases my charm capacity. I grabbed Lifeblood Vessel, which gives me effectively 2 overheals. And I also grabbed, I think it was Heavy Body or something. I'll have to put in the actual name in post-credits. That makes sure you don't get knocked back when swinging your sword.
Oh, that's nice. Probably something to get used to, though.
Yeah, I'm too used to it, so I don't waste the charm slots.
Well, wait. If there's no knockback, does that mean you can't use that sword bounce technique?
You can. It's just when you're on the ground. Also, I wanted to do something here, but I don't have the tech for that yet. So I was backtracking.
You wound up doing another thing.
Yeah, I was backtracking. And I remembered. Oh yeah, I could do this now that I have air dash. Well, not air dash so much as a wall grab. Just, you know, a fun little obstacle course that we could go through.
All right, we'll eat this dirt in a synchronized motion.
We'll break through this eventually. Damn it.
I found something!
Found lunch! But at the bottom
This
of
one's
all
like
this...
to kiss. Blah, 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 blah.
Hello, Mask Fragment.
Do-do-do-do.
2 more to go.
Nah, I'm trapped. Ooh, bother.
Dead forever. Now, normally I would edit out, you know, this little transition, but when I went to recover from, you know, eating shit, something surprising happened. Hey guys, what's up? Don't mind me, just, you know, go on with your conversation. Hello?
Rude.
Guys? Guys, it's me, little boy.
Hey.
Aw.
And anyway, oh, what, shit. Yeah, anyway, so I was thinking about this whole thing on football game. Oh, anyway, I was thinking about that football game.
So an interesting thing, I don't know what triggers that. I think it's entirely random and it only happens once. But if you get a certain item that allows you to mind read people, they say, is he ever gonna fucking leave?
So anyway, I'm thinking about giving you a hand job in this pool, and oh.
Pretty much. So you mentioned one of those ground things that we found a while back.
Oh boy.
Now this is neat.
Oh, it's a dead one.
So yeah, one of those guys that we can't possibly kill?
I guess.
That's how we get bestiary info for it.
Oh.
There are about 2 more of these, I believe. Trying to find it, because navigating this thing is a little difficult with my controller. For those of you that watch
And
my
they don't bother to alphabetize it?
it's a little weird now that you pointed it out. Yeah, the worst part though is that I use a Steam controller, so trying to navigate this with the right haptic pad is a little awkward.
Aren't those Steam controllers, like, super tiny?
Not really. They're bigger than an Xbox controller. They're also just kind of unwieldy for certain things because, believe it or not, a control stick is actually a lot better than a haptic pad.
I have a feeling that a lot of things like control sticks are things that are copyrighted by companies. That's why companies like Steam can't necessarily have them made.
By the way, this is me being stubborn as hell and not giving up, but you can do this without other things. You just need the air dash, the wall grab, and patience. But for that, we get the Spore Shroom.
Who?
It's a badge, which I will show off once I, get the hell out of here. Spore Shroom is a neat badge. I don't really use it as much as I should because, I don't know. It's a goofy niche thing that I'm just I forget exists, honestly, much like the Thorn badge that we have. But let's go ahead and show it off.
You got one spot with one notch, okay.
Now with this badge, if we focus, we fart damaging spores in an admittedly large area. They don't last long.
Do they do decent damage?
On mooks, yes, actually. They kill enemies in roughly 3 to 4 hits, and the hits are actually relatively quick.
Oh.
If I could get the tempo right, it gets like douche, 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 douche. Not the best sound now that I think about it, but whatever.
Calm down, you bug.
Look, he's old and tired. Give him a break.
He's the last of his kind. Having a wonderful time.
Now, during the recording, I went to a wrong area again. Yeah. So, that was pretty cool. The Soul Sanctum, we've done most of it. We just need to get the one thing from the mines and we can finish it off. Next area we're going to is the sewer level, which is another one that people really want to see because they want to see the shit boss. Now, when I say shit boss, I don't mean that in kind of a metaphorical way. I mean that in a literal sense, but you'll see. It's definitely interesting and one of my favorite bosses.
I'm assuming dung beetle of some kind.
You'll see next time, Travis.
A dung beetle that uses poo as an attack.
You'll see next time, Travis.
Somehow, basically can roll you up and throw you against the wall.
Stop ruining the charm, Travis.
You could almost say it's a dung beetle. Wink.
See you folks next time.